ahead, sir. Good afternoon. My name is Steve Dupuy, the project director for the All Nations ANAMP program. And thank you very much for joining us here on our kickoff little question and answer video conference. As some of you may know, the program started back in 1994, and it's been a rough ride since, but we were making some great progress. We've graduated over 2,000 Native American students in STEM, or over 10,000 other underrepresented minorities over our period here. We got awarded $4 million for the next 5 years. It may sound like a lot, but once we distribute to all our partners, it helps, definitely. I know our students appreciate the support on stipends. We're still doing stipends. We're doing travel support, and then we're doing little stipends here and there for transferring and then graduate school. So we're revamping the AOM to reflect the new changes, the minor changes basically, and then we're going to be introducing today is the research component. Basically what's been happening the last couple of years, we've been submitting our proposals, NSF reviews them, and basically the reviewers were not getting our research design. And we finally got on the same page and they approved us, and now we're anxious to get started and conduct this research. And then we have, and then I was going to let you know, Lee Padilla did retire. He's working part-time now, so you'll be getting email from him occasionally. We haven't yet interviewed, the new position is not closed for another couple weeks. So by the time all the interviews and such are done, probably won't be till the end of the month. And we're going to have people introduce themselves.
Yeah, let's get the staff to go around first.
And then we'll go from there. Here's Zitra.
Good afternoon. I'm Zitra Wheeler, the program manager for the All Nations ANAMP program. I oversee the programmatic management along with the INSEE director, Steve, and I'm responsible for the monitoring of the different components of the program, like the student or the student, kind of the student parts of it, like the subcontracts, the application process, working with the liaisons to make sure that they comply with what we need done, project any kind of, like NSF asks us for something and we have to get it from the liaison for the students. I'll work with you. I assist in travel and setting up conferences. We do the AHET conference every year, so host the oral and the science bowl part of AHET. And just basically work with the rest of the staff at AMP to ensure that our goals and needs are met.
I'm Chuck Harris. I primarily collect the enrollment degree data for the WebAMP system. So throughout the duration of this project, you'll be hearing from me at least once a year, asking for you to help get the data either submitted to us or have your institutional researchers or registrars get that entered into the WebAMP system. And then I work to support the other projects, the other pieces of the AMP program.
Hello, my name is Udo Fluke. I'm an intercultural researcher, and I will be developing the RISE program, which is Resilience Through Intercultural Skill Enhancement. The program will have modules that will be taught in a real sort of classroom setting, and then also offered via online distribution. And so the idea is to to find out which delivery method will be more effective and efficient for participants.
Dr. Rooks.
Go next. Hi everyone, my name is Daisy Rooks. I'm a sociology professor at the University of Montana. For the past few years, I was the external evaluator for AMP, and this year I'm moving into a new role, which is to help conduct research about the RISE component of the grant, which Joe and I will talk about a little bit later, but it's a pretty exciting new aspect of the program, and we hope you all will find it interesting and ask us a lot of questions when we talk about it in more detail. Thanks.
Brett? Dr. Solip?
Yes, hi, sorry about that. Yes, my name is Fred Solip, and I guess I'm taking over Daisy Rook's position as the external evaluator. I'm a professor of politics international affairs at Northern Arizona University, and have been here for quite some time. Have done applied research since graduate school, and ran a research lab, a social research laboratory at Northern Arizona University for quite some time, and continue to do this kind of work as a consultant. So I'm looking forward to working with everybody on the evaluation component.
Thank you. I want to put up the participants so we can see who's on and we can direct to answers. So Dr. Thomas, you're up. You want to introduce yourself, please?
Sure. Aaron Thomas, chemistry faculty at the University of Montana, Director of Indigenous Research in STEM Education, and current AMP Liaison.
Thank you. It says Amy, which I think is MSU.
Yep. Hi, this is Amy Sticks with Montana State University, and I'm an AMP Liaison for the university.
Thank you. I see if somebody dialed in, it says 192860. Somebody used the phone to call in. We're not sure who this is.
It's Joan.
Oh, hi, Joan.
Hi, Joan.
Hi, from Western Washington University and Student Outreach Services. I'm the AMP liaison here.
Thank you, Joan. Welcome. We have another phone call in. Oh, that's all. Okay.
Jeremy.
Oh, Jeremy.
Thanks. This is Jeremy Gwynn from United Tribes Technical College in Bismarck, North Dakota, and I'm the AMP liaison here.
Okay. Did we get this other phone? 1360.
I think that's Washington.
Oh. Christina. Christina, I think you're up.
Sure. Okay. So hi, everybody. Good to see you. It's good to finally see your faces, not just your emails. Hi, Udo. How are you? This is Cristina Estrada with the Office of Diversity Awareness and Multicultural Programs at MSU Northern in Havre, Montana, and I am the liaison, the AMP liaison at this university, and I have been here for 4 years now, starting my year number 5.
Cool. We have Colleen Green. Oh, hi.
Hey. Yeah, I know how to use some of this technology. Hi, my name is Colleen Green. I am the Director of Native American Programs here at Central Michigan University, and I have been the liaison for the university for about 10 years now.
I know, thank you.
Oh, yeah, welcome. Who are we missing? There's a long list here. We're missing some phone calls that don't have names. Anybody, who do we miss?
Hi, my name is Terry Martin Persian, and I'm sitting in for Stacy Blue from Turtle Mountain Community College.
Oh, well, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We missing anybody else? Okay, well, I think that's everyone. Welcome, everyone. And as Steve mentioned, there's some parts of our program that stayed the same, and obviously there's some things that are new, innovative, and different this year. One of the things that we wanted to do is have a meeting like this so that you could put a name to a face and a face to a name. and part of it is we kind of want to tell you what is staying the same, and then quickly get to the big changes, because there may be some questions that you have about those. And so what stayed the same, as Stephen Zitra mentioned, is the stipends, the travel expenses, the reporting is similar. We have the year-end WebAMP reporting, and then we have the progress reports that we do with our liaisons. The big change in that area is that we're now using cloud-based online forms as opposed to emailing PDFs. We're in the process of changing our outdated website so that it'll be easier to get to these areas. But if you're familiar with Submittable, we're using a company out of Missoula called Submittable, where we've built those forms. One of the changes that we want to do, because we know liaisons work with their AMP scholars, is we want to add accounts into Submittable for the liaisons who are working with AMP scholars, so that you can see the applications as you help them develop their application and get them submitted. And so it's new to us. We've played with it a little bit. We've tested it some, but bear with us at the start of this. We're open to, as we start using it, we're open to critiques on what we could do to make that system work easier. We're hoping that it'll work a lot better than trying to fill out PDF and Word files and submit via email. So that's the big change in that area. Steve or Zitra, want to add anything to that?
Yeah, just a little clarification on some of this. We're still modifying the application process. Just for instance, is the area of letters of recommendation. There'll be some slight changes in there, and we'll send out an email as well, but you'll also notice there'll be some different ways to have faculty submit a letter, and actually we're kicking around the idea of a reference form where they fill in different aspects, make it easier. I know as faculty, your time is valuable, and to write a quality letter of reference is not what we're really looking for. We're just looking for that the student is engaged with STEM faculty. So, and then we have our Costa Rica, this December's project is going, and those are live. So if you know students or faculty that want to go down for 2 weeks and conduct research, the form is ready to go.
Also, too, we want all existing AMP scholars that were previous AMP scholars to fill out Submittable again. New and existing AMP scholars need to resubmit in Submittable.
Okay. Is there any questions right now about any of what we covered thus far?
Yeah, I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So for what I understand, so everything is going to be online, correct? So reporting online, and then the scholars are going to submit their paperwork online.
Correct.
Yes, right. So in regards to are you still going to ask for official transcripts?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So how are those going to be submitted? Are going to be submitted online too?
Yep. Great question. And then watch for invites from Submittable, which I'll be sending out in the next couple of weeks to each of you to participate and set up an account in Submittable so you can see this. But in short, Submittable allows, I've set fields in Submittable, which the student clicks on, and if they have their transcript as a PDF from the registrar's office, within Submittable, when you click on that link, it brings you a pointer, and you point to that file on your computer, and it uploads it into Submittable.
Okay.
And it can be a PDF, a Word file, etc. I can set it up to accept images as well, and maybe remind me I should do that, because some people may have it as a JPEG. But yeah, and we've been using that as we were testing it, and that seemed to work fairly well. Great question. Thank you.
So you are not looking for that sealed envelope anymore?
Correct.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
I also have a question. This is Joan. So the liaisons have been pulling together the applications and scanning and then sending them to you as an attachment on email. Will the liaisons still be collecting this information, or will the students be directly applying through Submittable?
Sorry, yeah. It's going to be a hybrid of what you're doing now in this regard. The student will log in and Submittable will, when they click on the link to fill out a Submittable form, they will have to, they enter their name and some contact information, and they will be the ones that essentially fill out that form online. We're hoping that the liaisons work with them and help them through that process, because as you know, I know you've been doing this a while, students have lots of questions like, what's a CIP code, yada, yada. So
right.
We're hoping that the liaisons will continue to work with them. Plus, there's an added piece, and that is once we put you on as a team member in Submittable and you've accepted that, any students coming from your institution, we assign them to you. So you get first look at their application. So you can go through it and you're looking for what are obvious holdups for them. For example, they may not have uploaded their transcript, or they may not have entered the CIP correctly. And so it allows you that first look so you can see what problems there are. And then after you've basically gave that application a thumbs up, then it comes on to the second phase. It'll come to us, staff in the office, that then review it, making sure that it meets all those requirements. So this mimics the system that we had in place in that regard, meaning we want liaisons involved with the students. We're not trying to remove that. We're just trying to get a system that will hold these records where we can retrieve data about our students in an easier fashion. Did I answer that?
Thank you. Yes, yes.
Thanks, Joe. Any other questions? We lost Udo is going to talk about RISE.
Let me just touch on more of the international stuff, because we have another a grant that got funded. It's called NICE. It's NSF, International Center of Excellence, and it's hand in hand with our AMP program, but it also expands the participation across the country and the world, basically. So what that entails is more opportunities for our high-performing students, because this is going to be pretty demanding, and it's going to require heavy knowledge as far as research. For instance, if you go to France for the summer and conduct chemistry research, that's primarily their focus at this one site, they're going to want publication quality results. So it's not going to be probably our freshman students, but it's more of our junior, senior type students that are going to be basically qualified. And there's plenty of opportunities. There's plenty of different levels. So as we develop this, we're just kicking this off as well. As we develop this more, we'll hopefully get some feedback from you all and go from there. So now we have Dr. Fluke here. He's going to talk about the RISE.
Okay. Yeah, as I was saying earlier, the idea is to have students become more resilient through intercultural skill enhancement. And what that means is to be more culturally adaptable to different settings and situations, and particularly with students in a cultural transfer situation, increasing resilience and increasing retention in students is one of the foci in this. For students that are participating in the study abroad component, this will be helpful because it will basically help them to make the most out of their experience in Costa Rica or in Panama. So helping them to culturally adapt to the new environment, dealing with cultural adjustment and culture shock particularly. But also all the students that are going through the program, I think, will benefit from having that background knowledge on what is happening when you culturally adjust to a new environment and how you can increase your communication and collaboration with culturally diverse individuals.
And to be clear, that's it's getting developed in the first year of this this particular phase, and it'd be launched in the second year, and then it's made available to AMP scholars, and it's also the focus of a research piece that's part of this proposal. So that sort of brings Dr. Rooks into this part of the conversation.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm a little sick, so hopefully you can hear me. So my part of the project is going to be really to try to conduct some rigorous research on the intercultural education piece that Udo is developing. And essentially what we're going to do in year 2 and 3 of the grant is we're going to recruit AMP scholars who are interested into this part of the project, and we're going to offer them a $50 stipend. And then we're going to randomly select, we're going to randomly place them into one of 3 groups. One group that gets a probably 4-week course of hashing out the details on the interactive course with Dr. Fluke about intercultural skills. And then a second group that's going to get access to all the materials from his course, but not an interactive experience. And then the third group will be a control group that doesn't get access to the information. And we're going to give them a pre-test and a post-test about intercultural competency and intercultural communication, really to try to see if this kind of educational experience helps students deepen and develop the skills that they might already have. And the idea in the long run is to try to think about interventions that will help smooth students' transitions into some of these international experiences or into 4-year predominantly white institutions, and to really try to see how different methods of delivering that information might be more or less effective. So we will give you more information about the project, and we'll ask for your help to publicize it to students, and they'll get that $50 stipend whichever group they're put in. So if they're in the group where you just have to take the pre and post test, they'll get it. And if they're the group that's doing a little bit more, they'll get it also. But we're just trying to think about ways that we might help support students as they transition and have international and intercultural experiences.
Thank you, Udo and Daisy. Is there a question from the liaisons on this? Any questions?
I guess I would have a question regarding the materials. Is that something that's being developed, or are these materials available already for us to review?
They're being developed now. They've been in place actually. Udo's taught these courses for 25 years, I think, but he's developing them into a more compressed program, and one that, as you know, our particular AMP is spread out across 14 states and a lot of institutions, and so we wanted it in a format that we could distribute more freely. And so as we move forward, we could make some of this available, and we definitely be asking you guys for help on both the how it's working out and with the research piece for this. But as it stands now, it won't be developed until it's being developed now through this first year. So it's not available at this time.
Sure. I think we would have some review requirements because of the word research and because of our student involvement with our IRB board. So when you do have that, make sure we can look at that.
And our plan is to get IRB approval from any institution that we're recruiting students from. So we'll get approval at the University of Montana, and then we'll get it at all the partner institutions. And if folks are interested in being part of that process or being listed as a co-PI or reviewing materials before we approach your IRB, please let me know, and I'd love to engage you as a partner on that. But we'll definitely go through the process to get that formal approval.
Yeah, I'm on the IRB board, so I'd be happy to help out.
Great question. Thank you.
I have another question. I'm sorry. So this is only for the students traveling abroad to Costa Rica and Panama, correct? So if our scholars are not the ones who are traveling, then they are not necessarily candidates to participate.
Yeah, I didn't catch the last part of that. I'm sorry.
So this is only for students who are traveling abroad, correct?
No.
Or for everybody?
It's for all our AMP scholars, yes. It's going to be made available for our AMP scholars. What we looked at was, it was initially developed for folks traveling abroad or coming here. But what we've discovered is that students from some of our partners and tribal colleges leaving the reservation, let's say bridging from a 2-year to a 4-year at one of our other partner institutions, they face a lot of those same issues as somebody coming from abroad. And so we're trying to speak to that. And so we want to make it available to all students. We do think it'll work as well, obviously, for folks participating in some of our travel abroad parts of our program. Great question.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. Fred, do you have anything that you want to add about the evaluation, and then we can entertain some questions about it? Dr. Sola? We might have lost our. Oh, here he is.
No, I'm here. Yeah, I'm here. I reviewed the last year's evaluation document, and so I'm just getting up to speed on the evaluation components. I do have a bunch of questions, but I think they're best held for not for all the liaisons, but for instance, I would like to get access to the submittables program, and I can see those documents and get on an email list. So so there's a lot of small issues that I need tended to just to get up to speed, but other than that, it's just interesting at this point hearing the baseline on the program for this coming 5-year segment, and I'm taking good notes.
Okay, thank you. Maybe Dr. Rooks can jump in here too, because she was working the external evaluation for a number of years.
Right.
But in short, we're hoping that the liaisons, they now have some name recognition with you, so when you reach out to them asking for their opinions as you're doing your evaluation, you now know Fred Slollop, and we're happy he's part of our team. Dr. Rooks, is there anything you want to add about the evaluation?
I don't think so. Historically, there's been a short survey that we've asked liaisons to fill out each year for the evaluation, and if Fred continues that, great, or he might change the way in which he's gathering information from you all. But if you've been a liaison for a while, you're probably familiar with that survey that's sent out. We didn't do it last year, but we did it the year before and many years.
Is there any questions then about the evaluation? Anything anybody else wants to add? All right. Anybody here?
Well, I just wanted to thank the liaisons that took their time today to participate and learn a little bit more. I know we don't have a whole heck of a lot, and it will be coming as you maybe gathered. This first year is going to be a lot of the planning on this research and such. But of course, evaluation is never ending, and our student needs are never ending. So that's what we're going to concentrate on. And this is your AMP, so if you have ideas, what's working, what's not, we're always soliciting for those kind of ideas. given that we are under certain guidelines, of course. But we would like to continue our, success and continue towards our goal of doubling our numbers of graduates every 5 years, which we've been fairly close, if not there. Chuck needs to know how to massage that data a little better. Oh, Jeremy.
Anyway, but thank you all so much. And we don't have anything else. All right.
Very nice to meet you all.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.